Good morning, welcome to MSLB, Mark Sterling Miller's Boxing. This is the first video on this channel, so thank you for tuning in, where we're covering boxing. And today we're going to look at heavyweight challenger Dominic Breazeale in his fight tonight against WBC heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder. And we're going to specifically look at Dominic Breazeale's strengths and weaknesses. So without further ado, let's look at his strengths first. So, the jab. As you may or may not know, in boxing, the jab is one of the most important punches to throw. And Dominic Breazeale takes advantage of that. He uses his jab to find his range of his opponent. He doesn't always land his jab, but when he's not landing his jab, he's still pouring it out so he can work at his distance and gradually get into the fight over time. So that's one of his strengths. Also, good timing and footwork. He has good timing and footwork. I wouldn't say amazing, but he has good timing and footwork. And you have to have good timing and footwork to be a top 10 heavyweight fighter and to go for the Olympics as well. I think, if my memory serves me right, Dominic Breazeale might be a bronze medalist in the Olympics. Composure. He has very good composure. I've seen him under pressure. I've seen him hurt, specifically against Amir Mansour. He was knocked down in the second round. What he didn't do was he didn't freeze up and do nothing or just start throwing silly punches on instinct. He held, he moved backwards, and he made things difficult for Mansour, and he got through that round. Also, in his fight against Anthony Joshua, although he got stopped, it took AJ 7 rounds to stop him, and over those 7 rounds, AJ was landing a lot of hard shots. Dominic Breazeale didn't really get discouraged. He fought back, he held at times, threw body shots in the clinches, and moved backwards. Eventually he got stopped. He was outclassed that night, but he has got good composure because he has been hurt and put under pressure, and he responds well in my opinion. So his right hand, that's his strength. So let's get this clear. Dominic Breazeale is a very hard puncher. He can crack, he can knock you out. I've noticed in his fight he's a slow starter. So his right hand from around round 4, he starts to find his range. And if you look at his fight against Carlos Negron, he ended that fight with an overhand clubbing right hand. Yeah, he has a very good right hand. So let's hope that Deontay Wilder is aware of that and knows what he's doing tonight. Improve confidence and activity. So as I said before, he's a slow starter. So from what I've seen of him, as the fight goes on, he gets more active. He finds his range. He lands more shots, and he's busier in the fight. So he's someone who I'd say he marinates and seasons into the fight, like how you marinate and season your meat overnight. Well, Breazeale doesn't start in round 1 like a fire starter. You need to give him a little bit of time, and he gets into that fight. He can take a punch. So I mentioned before, you know, when he fought Amir Mansour, Anthony Joshua, Carlos Negron, who's maybe not a hard puncher, but Carlos Negron landed a lot of shots against Dominic Breazeale, and he took a lot of shots. So it's going to take a lot to get. It's going to take a lot of work to get Breazeale out of there. I don't think you get him out of there with one shot, unless you're a hard puncher like someone like a George Foreman or a Deontay Wilder. Defense. So is he defensively responsible? There's issues with his defense, but one thing I see that he does well is that he blocks a lot of hooks with his gloves. So a lot of hooks that you throw, they're going to hit his gloves. So that's a positive. I'll talk more about his defense as well in the negatives in regards to his style. And last thing as well, you know, he puts you on the ropes. He gets to work. When you get you on the ropes, he gets really busy. So that's another one of his strengths. Let's move on to now his weaknesses. So one of his ones that I think is quite evident to look at or to see when you're watching Breazeale fight is he's slow. He starts slow. He's a slow starter. He doesn't get into the fight until round 3 and 4. But also when he's fighting opponents, like especially against Anthony Joshua, against AJ, I noticed that AJ is visibly faster than him, and Deontay Wilder is a very fast heavyweight, a very fast puncher. So he's slow. So that's something they're going to work on. Obviously, you can work on increasing your speed a little bit. It's not going to make you're not going to become an amazing Gary Russell Jr., Sugar Ray Leonard, fast-handed fighter overnight. But you can work on your timing and you can increase your speed a little bit. So let's see if him and his new trainer Virgil Hunter have worked on, you know, his defense and his speed. In regards to his defense, I've noticed as well that when you throw straight shots, so you know your jab or your straight right hand, they go straight for his guard. I've seen that quite a lot against Carlos Negron and with Anthony Joshua as well. Straight shots, he doesn't defend them well, so he needs to work on that. And as we just mentioned, he now has a new trainer for this fight who's trained him for 10 weeks called Virgil Hunter. Virgil Hunter is renowned in the boxing industry as a very intelligent trainer, the trainer of Andre Ward as well. So let's see if that can make a difference. I'm not saying it will, but it will make it interesting. Weakness. he misses with a lot of hooks as well. So when he throws his hooks, I've noticed he misses quite a lot of hooks. So that's something that he may want to throw less hooks, or may want to throw the hooks to the body instead. But we'll see. And last thing, I noticed that Lennox Lewis made a comment when he was commentating on his fight against Carlos Negron, is that when Breazeale gets you to the ropes, he doesn't switch angles to find space, he just stays in front of you. So maybe that could be a weakness as well, like standing right in front of someone like a Anthony Joshua or a Deontay Wilder, who's a very hard puncher. You don't want to stand in the middle, you want to be switching up on the angles. Maybe he can, maybe he can't do that, maybe that's not his style, but we'll see. So that's my breakdown on the strengths and weaknesses of Dominic Breazeale. The next video is going to be the strengths and weaknesses of Deontay Wilder. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you could be so kind, share it. And if this is your thing, subscribe as well. MSLB, Mark Stone Loves Boxing. Peace. We're out of here. Bless.